Okie dokie. All right, so here's the deal. I'm not there today. I'm sorry. Couldn't be there. It's just the way things happen. Because of that, this wonderful video to watch. Talk about what you're doing. I already went through some of the stuff with you yesterday, but here's what you're going to do. There's really two things. One, everybody needs to grab one of these things after I say, go! Go get one. It's up front, or it's in the stool, or it's on the table, or the sub has it. But it's one of these bad boys. It says, Terms and People, test Friday the 17th. It's just not Friday the 13th. Dun, dun, dun. So get one now. Let's go. I'm waiting on you. Everybody should have one. 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Here we go. This is a study guide for the test on Friday. This Friday. The test is going to be worth 106 points. 106 points. That's a lot of points. This stuff should be easy, though. This is the stuff that we talked about a lot. So if you don't know this stuff, you must be either a new student, which we have one, or you just haven't been paying attention for the last, few months, which is making me a little sad. Here's what it is. You guys are going to be filling the study guide out. This is not going to take long. We're going to do it together like right now, and then I'll tell you what you're doing after this. But let's get to it. So you will see that I have each other line bolded to make it easier to study from. The goal of having something like this is you cover up the terms, and then you should be able to see what the descriptions are here and be able to tell me what the term is, or vice versa. You should be able to see the term and tell me the description. You basically cover each side. It's a good way to study. Go through it quickly, repetitively, as much as you can. So cotton gin, it increased what, everybody? Say it with me. It increased the need for? Good job. Yes. It increased the need for more slavery. Basically, in America, this new invention pushes this idea that we can produce more cotton, but we need a labor force that is cheap and easy because we didn't care about the moral expenditures of this endeavor. So we looked into slavery, specifically African slavery, and then we talked about the horrors that was slavery in America. But what I would do here is, remember, keep these 5 words or less. On the right side next to cotton gin, I'd say increase the need for slavery, or slavery went up because of this, or something like that. Keep it under 5 words. Write it down. I'm not waiting for you because you should know this stuff anyway, but you need to write it down so you can study off of it. Plus, you're going to be sending me a picture of your done product at the end. By the way, before we get on to this further, can everyone put their first and last name at the top right of this piece of paper right now? Everybody. That's you sitting in my room right now. Do it. All right, here we go. Number 2, Lincoln's election. So think of his election. His first election, he was elected twice. So this is the election of 1860. What did it cause? Anybody? Bueller? Yes, you said it. Whoever that was, you said it. Good job. It caused the succession of the southern states. Basically, the southern states went bye-bye. So I would definitely put down southern states went away, succession of the southern states, bye-bye southern states, something about the southern states leaving the United States. Okay, write that on the right side. Good stuff. Let's keep on trucking. Oh, Gettysburg. Let's talk about some Gettysburg. Like, I don't know, how long did it last? 3 days. How many died? Oh, boy, it's been a while. Somebody look it up. I believe it was like 50,000 or 70,000. I don't know. It's been a while. Look it up. Who won? The North won. I don't know. Put some factoids about Gettysburg down so you know a little bit about Gettysburg, okay? Let's keep going. We're missing a term on here. We'll get to that at the end. Here we go. Actually, you know what? Do me a favor. You're going to hate me on this. Everything you wrote about Gettysburg, erase. Just erase it. You don't need it. Forget about it. What you're going to do instead, don't cross it off because you're going to need that space. You're going to cross off Gettysburg. Everybody do that right now. Cross off Gettysburg. I want you to put Fort Sumter. Everybody with me? Fort Sumter. Write that down for the 3rd section. So you're crossing off Gettysburg, write Fort Sumter. And on the right side, I want you to write, what you know to write? Fort Sumter was what? The first? That's right, first battle of the Civil War. So please, instead of Gettysburg, cross that off. Everybody do it right now. Listen. Put down Fort Sumter. Good stuff. And it was, yes, you're correct. Everybody who shouted it, well done. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work. It's the first battle of the Civil War. If you haven't been shouting these answers, it's making me sad. die on the low side just because you're not shouting the answers. Kansas-Nebraska Act, moving on to number 4. It caused, yes, you in the back, what do you think? Bleeding Kansas, you're right. Kansas-Nebraska Act caused bleeding Kansas. So I put on the right side there, caused bleeding Kansas. That's good stuff. I like it. That's the way you're thinking. All right, good stuff. Well, it's not good stuff. It's all terrible stuff. It's John Brown and 200 dead in like 2 years and like brutal deaths too. It wasn't like they marched them on the field. It was stabby, punchy deaths. Terrible stuff. Mini ball. It was more accurate. Caused more amputations. Good job. I know you guys do that one. So yes, the mini ball was more accurate. Caused more amputations. If you need to know how to spell this stuff, just do your best. As long as you know what the word is supposed to say, you're good to go. So more accurate, more amputations. I put that out in the mini ball. The next one, and yes, I'm going fast. I apologize. Not really, because you should know this stuff. But North logistical advantages. The North logistical advantages are pretty well known right now. They had more, and they also had more. Yes, good job. You got all 3 of them. They had more trains, telegraphs, and factories. Trains, telegraphs, factories. Trains, telegraphs, factories. Trains, telegraphs, factories. That's what I'm talking about. Basically, they had an opportunity to win before the battle even started. These next 2 terms are really the difference by one word. They both freed slaves, but they freed slaves at different levels. So the 13th Amendment freed slaves federal, freed slaves federal. I would underline federal, circle federal, do a dance around federal, freed slaves federal for the 13th Amendment. That means everywhere, by the way, in the United States. Federal is like a blanket term. It's a federal law. It means every state has to abide by it. Federal proclamation, a federal act, a federal whatever. So free slaves federal. Emancipation Proclamation, the EP of the group. Emancipation Proclamation, it freed slaves in the Confederacy. Freed slaves Confederacy. Freed slaves Confederacy. It was a wartime act. It was something that they did specifically in the war. Lincoln did specifically in the war, both to terrify the South, but also it was a measure. It was a wartime measure. It made a lot of sense. So Emancipation Proclamation, freed slaves, Confederacy. All right, somebody out there. I'm gonna go with let's go with the men on this one. Men in the room. Sherman's March was an example of all the men. Go. Total War. Good job for the gentleman who shouted out loud. Sherman's March was an example of total war. Total War. And total war means like you're going to take out not just military installments. You're going to take out civilian stuff as well. Barns, farms, all that stuff. Because if you can terrorize them, they're going to be the backbone of the military because they're the ones that feed them, clothe them, all that good stuff. And take them out, you can win the war. So Sherman's March, total war, remember. Robert E. of the Lee. Anyone want to take a shot in the dark on why he's there? How about the ladies? Ladies, why do you think he's on this list? What should you write about Robert E. Lee? Anybody? Bueller? Yes, good stuff. He's the one that surrendered. So I put he surrendered. A deal. He's the one that kind of waved the white flag of surrender, talked to Grant at Appomattox Courthouse, and set out the terms of the end of the war, basically. There were some skirmishes after this, but generally speaking, this was the end of the war. Okay, moving on to the Andrew of the Johnson clan. He was the Presidente of the United States. And as President of the United States, how did he become president? Anybody out there? Oh, yes, Lincoln was assassinated. So I'd put down for Andrew Johnson became president because Lincoln was assassinated. That's probably a good thing to start. He was also impeached. I would put a couple things for Andrew Johnson. One, I'd put Lincoln shot, so you know that's why he became president, comma, tenure of office act. Tenure of office act is the next thing I'd write down. So that's 5 words. Leave out the of. Tenure office act. Just write that. So Lincoln shot, comma, tenure office act. Tenure is Tenure. Tenure office act. What that means is he got impeached. That's what he got impeached for. First president to be impeached. You know this because he has a peach under his face on my wall. So I write those things down for him. This is important stuff to do. KKK was a terrorist organization. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. I know I'm going fast again. I'm going to keep going fast. So we knew this after Reconstruction. This terrorist organization would grow in the South, or during Reconstruction, as to say, after the Civil War, and it would, terrorize African Americans. It would burn churches to the ground. It would lynch African Americans as a sign. It would burn crosses in front of schools. They're just one of the worst of the worst. And we're not done talking about them, because when we talk about civil rights in the spring, we're going to have to bring these guys up again. They're still around today, actually. So let's keep going. These next ones, really, it's a matter of just writing down a couple words for each, or a word for each. So this should be easy peasy. Let's go. Andrew Carnegie. He was the steel guy. Steel, remember the skyscrapers. He had the elephant that walked across the bridge. Not Topsy the elephant. That's somebody else. But he's the guy that, did a lot of steel. Without him, we wouldn't be able to build upwards. Our cities were able to grow population because we didn't have to grow outwards. We grew upwards. So make sure you guys put down steel for him. Steel is what I want you for that. John Rockefeller was the oil guy. Write down oil, and some more oil. I mean, anytime you see oil, you're talking about John Rockefeller. So let's just be associated. Rock, like oil comes from the rocks, from the ground. It really doesn't. It comes under the ground. It's not from rocks, but it doesn't matter. John Rockefeller, oil, remember. Thomas Edison, I would put down two things for him. I'd put DC, as in DC power, and then I would put light bulb. So DC, light bulb. Okay. And then Nikola Tesla, if Edison is DC power, what's Nikola Tesla? AC power. Now, you might not know what those mean, AC, but it's alternating current. Okay, there was a book called The Jungle. And The Jungle focused on, and partly, what type of company back in the day, during the Progressive Era. It focused on what company? Meat packing plant. So I'd say book about meat plants, or meat packing plants. And remember, this talked about how gross it was there. I read from this book a little bit. Talked about how nasty some of the things they would shovel rats with the meat out of these things, and smoke coming from the pipe. I mean, just bad news bears. So yeah, for The Jungle, I put book about meat plants. Good to go. Triangle Shirt Factory Fire, or Triangle Shirt Fire. What I put down this is increased fire safety laws, because remember, 170 some odd people died, mostly women, girls actually. Many of them were really young. They died because of many of the things that happened in the Triangle Shirt Factory, which could have been avoided if people would have just, cared about people instead of money. Because doors remained locked, fire escapes didn't work, some of them just collapsed, the hoses didn't work, they only had one working elevator. Just literally, they were trying to save some money, and what they did is cost lives. So for Triangle Shirt Factory, Shirt Waste Factory, this was a fire that, I read this on the right side, increased safety or fire safety laws. Increased fire safety laws, whatever. And then finally, Spanish-American War. It's not finally, there's a couple more. Spanish-American War gave us which state? Everyone should know this. Which state was given to us by the Spanish-American War? Hawaii. We got Hawaii. So I put it on the right side. We got Hawaii, or Hawaii became a state, or something like that. We actually annexed Hawaii, which I'm not going to go through the pedantic what these words mean. Generally speaking, Hawaii will become a state eventually because of this. Now it gets to the end. On the very bottom of this, you're going to see, put the following in order from first to last. So we got some events: Progressive Era, Bleeding Kansas, Spanish-American War, and Civil War. You should be able to put these in order. At least I hope so, because it's stuff we've talked about a million times. So let's talk about it again. What's first? Anybody? Bleeding Kansas. Good stuff. I like it. And then after that, Civil War. Okay, good stuff. What comes after that? A whole is where it gets tough. Yeah, it's Spanish-American War because that happens during the McKinley presidency, and you'll see on the board that the Progressive Era really doesn't kick off until Teddy Roosevelt is in office after McKinley's assassination. And so it goes Spanish-American War, Progressive Era, good to go. All right, so what you're going to do now is you're going to take a picture of your completed paper that has your name at the top, first and last. You're going to email me that picture to get assignment or your assignment credit for that today. Now you have something to study off for that big test on Friday. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Let's talk about this. The remainder of the hour, which you're going to have a lot of time, the way I see it right now, we're in 15 minutes into class. The remainder of the hour, you are going to be working on this project right here in your groups. So I assigned the groups yesterday. I talked about this project yesterday, but you guys should know what to do. Each one of you have been assigned a topic. Each one of you guys have been assigned an area of expertise that you will be showing class. You will be presenting on this, and here's what you're getting graded on. Your presentation is worth 5 points. I told you yesterday to add an additional 5 points. That additional 5 points is for time. You need to be you need to be up there for a minimum of 6 minutes. 6 minutes should be fine considering it's a group project and you're talking about something you spent weeks on. So if you're not up there for 6 minutes, you're going to lose 5 points automatically. So it's a total of 105 points. I know the packet says 100, but I added that yesterday when we talked about it in class. So make sure you have enough material to talk for a guaranteed 6 minutes. Again, if you are 1 second below 6 minutes, that doesn't count. That's it. That's it. So anyway, presentation's 5 points. Just go up and present 5 points. Having 3 visuals is going to be 20 points. That's a lot of points for just visuals. Doing a demonstration is 20 points. Content covered, that is covering every piece of content under your group. So group 1 is pre-Civil War. You will see a bunch of terms, places, and things underneath there. You have to cover all of them. If you do that, you get 30 points. If you miss just one, you don't lose the whole 30 points, but you miss a portion of the 30 points. Individual question, how this is going to work. I talked about this yesterday, but so you should know what to prepare for. I will be asking each one of you an individual question that is only going to impact your grade. It's worth 10 points. So if you get it wrong, the max you can get on this assignment is a 95 out of 105 because that extra 5 points for the time. By the way, I can ask you anything about any of the terms, people, or places in your section. So not just the stuff you covered, any of them. So you need to be a master of all this stuff. Let's go with group questions. You guys can put your brain together. I give you group questions for 10 points. And then there's a peer review section. On the back of your packet, you're going to list all the wonderful things that you did and all the wonderful things that other people did on here, which you'll hand in to me, and that gets you a whopping 5 points. You have the remainder of the hour to work on this. I expect you to get a lot of this done because tomorrow we're doing a review for your test. Friday we're going to have the test. Then we're going to do something after the test. You're not going to have a lot of class time to do this. So you have about 30 minutes to do this now. So get to it. Make sure you email me that study guide so you get points for that. And then work on this. You can work in your groups, but not the whole time. There's no reason to be in your groups the whole time. Just assign out who's doing what, if you haven't done that already, and then start doing your research and coming up with your PowerPoints or Google Slides or whatever you're going to do. To say you need to work with your group the whole time is ridiculous. No, because a lot of this is you putting together as much as you can for stuff that you're covering. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.